the jar of gold on the tree. Based on the proverb, what belongs to heaven returns to earth. That afternoon, in the small yard of a humble leaf-thatched house, Tam was digging the soil to plant a tree when his hoe suddenly struck something hard. Curious, he dug deeper and uncovered an old clay jar, heavy and covered in dirt. Tam scratched his head, guessing it might just be an old jar used to store fish sauce or pickles. At that very moment, Troke, a notorious antique dealer known for cheating villagers, happened to pass by. The moment he saw the jar, his eyes gleamed with greed. He instantly recognized it as a valuable Song Dynasty relic but pretended to dismiss it, calling it a cracked, worthless jar that only cluttered up the place. Putting on an act of generosity, he offered Tam 2 baskets of sticky rice in exchange for the broken jar so he could throw it away for him. Honest and simple-hearted, Tam, whose family had run out of rice, gratefully agreed. Troke seized the jar and hurried off, laughing triumphantly. On his way through a forest trail, Troke grew tired and sat under a big ancient tree to rest. As he caught his breath, he opened the jar to check its contents. Inside were not only antiques but piles of ancient gold coins. Troke burst out laughing, convinced that fortune had smiled upon him and that Tam was a fool. But hunger soon made him drowsy. Troke hid the jar among the tree roots, covered it with leaves, and lay down for a nap, keeping one hand on the pile of leaves to guard his treasure. He had no idea that a mischievous monkey was watching from above, munching on a banana. When Troke fell into a loud, deep sleep, the monkey climbed down out of curiosity. It sniffed around, uncovered the jar, and opened it, expecting food. Seeing only cold metal, it became annoyed and scampered to the very top of the tree with the jar in its arms. Troke awoke with a start and panicked when he found the jar missing. Looking up, he spotted the monkey clutching his fortune. He shouted and threw stones up at it. Provoked, the monkey imitated him. It reached into the jar and began hurling handfuls of gold coins down at him. The coins bounced off rocks and rolled down a steep slope that led straight into a fast-flowing stream below. Troke dodged frantically while crying out in despair, rushing to the water's edge to retrieve the gold. But the current carried everything away. When the monkey grew tired of throwing, it simply dropped the empty jar. It crashed onto a rock and shattered into pieces. Troke collapsed on the muddy ground, soaked and pitiful, completely ruined. Just then, Tam walked by carrying firewood. Seeing Troke's miserable state, he asked with concern and even invited him home for a warm meal, a simple pot of rice and braised fish that he had bought with the money from selling the jar that morning. Troke could only stare at Tam, lips trembling, unable to speak a word. As the sun set, he trudged away, while the monkey perched high above on a branch, chattering mockingly. And a calm, warm voice seemed to echo, "What belongs to heaven returns to earth. Wealth gained through deceit arrives quickly but vanishes just as fast. Only what is earned through honest work and a good heart truly stays with us."